Well, this weather likely has kids hoping for a snow day tomorrow. I remember those days. It was always so nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
But with all the snow that we've already seen, it may have some schools thinking twice about whether to call off tomorrow.
13 on your side political reporter Josh Alberter spoke with local superintendents today to find out what that might be, Josh.
Yeah, guys, perfect example of how politics touches so many parts of our lives you wouldn't expect. The state says schools can only have a certain number of off days for things out of their control, like snow, that count toward their 180-day requirement for the year before they need to start tacking days onto the end of the year to make up for it. You're seemingly seeing that coming into play in certain areas already. In Holland, the district saying on its website earlier today it had used 5 snow days so far this year, as it announced it would consider calling 2-hour delays instead of full snow days for the rest of the academic calendar when safe to do so. Now, here in the Grand Rapids area, I spoke with superintendents at Forest Hills and Northview Public Schools, who said in Forest Hills they said they used 4 snow days so far district-wide, and Northview said they had used all 6. These two I spoke with said the considerations they would make going forward would be based on safety.
Always safety. You know, we want our students here. We do not want them at home when they're supposed to be with us. So if it's safe to bring them in, we want to bring them in.
Quite frankly, no matter how many days we've used or how many days we have left, if it's not safe, it's not safe. So we would go ahead and make that decision. That may leave us, you know, at the end of the winter time scrambling to figure out what it looks like in the spring and potentially even into the summer. But ultimately, if it is not a safe day to come to school, then we're not going to have school.
Now, you've got those 6 days, but on top of that, schools do have the ability to ask forgiveness for up to 3 additional days, but those would need to be approved by the state superintendent in order to still count. Now, we also heard from Hudsonville schools today who said they've used all 6, but are prepared to do what they need as well to ensure student safety, and they have a makeup day scheduled in the spring to use if needed. Guys.
And Josh, I remember, Lauren, I'm not sure about you guys, but I remember growing up, and if there were so many days, you know, we'd be in school until like the end of June some years if we saw a lot of snow days. What about you guys?
Yeah, I mean, snow days were like a great thing, but also not a good thing because, you know, you don't want to go to school during the winter.
Right.
But in the summertime, you're like, I'm ready to get up out of there.
Yeah,
you know?
not enough air conditioning. You want summer to start. So, yeah, it's a double-edged sword.
And Josh, I don't know if you can answer this right now, but I know some schools, when it comes to snow days, they sometimes implement online learning or just different ways to learn out of the classroom. Did they mention that by chance?
They did, actually. When we talked to Northview, they said that, you know, virtual is an option, but in order to do something like that, it can't be considered just overnight in the case of many like snow days that they have to call, because there needs to be a lot of preparation for that. Schools, teachers need to make virtual lesson plans. Some students may not have access to Wi-Fi at home, so there are a lot of caveats there. So that's not, it's possible, but not necessarily what they would go to in an instance like when they needed to call a snow day in order to still have that day of instruction to be counted. So yes, theoretically, but not necessarily, I would say, from my conversations that I had.
Okay, Josh, thanks so much. We appreciate it.